our YouTube channel. This is all coming up today, and I'm going to attempt to be as calm and as focused as I can. But to see Herman Cain in the lead right now, 43% to Obama's 41%. Now, I also notice here that in similar polls, Ron Paul is 43 to Obama's 41, or 44 to Obama's 40. But that's not getting as much media attention. And to see the public running into the arms of another globalist, it's just too much for me to handle. On top of that, again, Obama is fired up. Obama has a shout out to the protesters and says he represents the 99 against the 1%. And the same idiot Democrats are now going, good, now Obama will give me my free car and my free house and my free tuition. Did you get that when he promised it 4 years ago, 3.5 years ago? Oh, thank you, Mr. President. All my problems are now solved. Did you get that? No, you didn't get that. And so there's no doubt that the goal here is class warfare, divide and conquer, and racial division, which is their admitted plan in this country. We've got to get into those Occupy Wall Street people, just like the Tea Party, when the Republicans try to take it over, and educate them about what's happening. And the good news is, on the grassroots, they are awake to the fact that it's a fraud. At the grassroots, they are aware that it's a fraud. But the national media is going along with the hoax that it is Democrat. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to be clear here. Coming up today, I'm going to open the phones up after I cover some of the news, and then we also have pharmacist Ben Fuchs popping in to cover all the new incredible attacks on dietary supplements that are really heating up right now across the United States. So that is coming up. I'm also going to break down the notice that the Federal Reserve gave YouTube over the weekend, requesting that they pull a video critical of the Federal Reserve. And right now that is being reviewed by YouTube. They have not taken the video down yet, and they have not told us the results of their investigation. But I will be talking about that later on in the second hour today. The particular video that they're trying to censor is at the Dallas and San Antonio Fed. There's video of both, where at the Dallas Fed, they have signs up that say private property keep off and have fences put up in front of it, something they didn't have just a few months ago or 3+ years ago when I was there demonstrating. You can see that in my film, The Obama Deception. Now they've put up these fences and put up signs saying private property keep off just on the grass, not even on their own sidewalk. Now at the San Antonio Fed, they have their own marble sidewalk running up against the regular sidewalk. They don't have any private property signs, but they sent the police in along with their security person to tell us get off their private property, and then complained and said that shooting video of them in the facility was some type of privacy violation, and that violation, if it was found to be true, could shut down our YouTube channel with now 145 million views. So I'll be breaking that down later. You heard Ray McGovern last week. This is the closest to a war with Iran that we've gotten. Congressman King has called for war. Obama has said that, there may be something stronger than sanctions. Hillary has called for that. Israel is saying they may strike. There are giant U.S. military drills going on around Iran that Paul Watson covers today at Infowars.com. Again, the green light as far as Israel and the U.S. government right now, the green light has been given. They are seriously looking at going ahead with this attack. Now, the green light was given late last week. Since then, you've seen literally, now it's just insane. The former head of the bin Laden group in the CIA has come out in a video that we posted at Infowars.com on Fox News and said that Saudi Arabia and Israel are working together to set up America for a war, and they're a greater threat than Iran. This is now on Fox News. You've got the FBI coming out through Colonel Schaefer and saying there's nothing in the computers, it's all fake. You've got Ray McGovern coming out. You've got the former Bush administration head analyst on Iran coming out and saying it's all fake. Reuters came out over the weekend and said it looks like it's fake. It just goes on and on and on. The New York Times came out and said it was fake. And don't go to war with Iran. This is a bad idea because it's a horrible geopolitical plan, even from the perspective of globalists that aren't completely hubris or chutzpah filled. There's large contingents of the Israelis don't want to go to war with Iran. This is a super bad news. But if you're Obama, it would politically help him. And if you're Benjamin Netanyahu, who's in political trouble and has an election coming up, it's a great way to get reelected. And, of course, bomb those nuclear sites. It'll cause incredible Chernobyl-type events, similar to what we've seen with Fukushima, as the radiation levels across the northern hemisphere just climb and climb and climb. And the EPA's response is just to raise the levels of radiation and to say that much higher levels are safer. Now, I literally prayed this morning that God would give me clarity and focus to truly articulate to you the absolute truth of what's happening here in the United States with the Mexico situation and how it ties in to the move towards the North American Union and what I've discovered here. And the special guest, I haven't even announced this yet, that's going to be joining us in 1 hour from here. We'll call him David. That's not his name. And all of his information checked out. It's confirmed what I've gotten from other reporters in the area, what I've gotten from police in the area, what I've gotten from business owners in the area, what I've gotten from the Coast Guard in the area, what I've gotten from years of research and hundreds of news articles and sheriffs that I've interviewed here in South Texas on the Mexico border, sheriffs I've interviewed on there. All of it confirms exactly what the Banff Canada SPP document showed from 2007 that we cover in my seminal film, In-Game Blueprint for Global Enslavement. So this is all coming up after the break. Then I will get into the Iran situation. I will get into the Obama embracing Occupy Wall Street publicly situation and a lot more.
We're on the march. The empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
A very wealthy U.S. citizen is predicting that in 2011, we will witness the most important day in America in more than 50 years. He says it will change everything about our lives. The way you shop, travel, invest, educate your children, and even how you take care of your health and your own family. Now, this man has made some outrageous predictions over the years. The crazy part is, he's usually right. You see, he predicted the collapse of GM, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and America's biggest mall owner, General Growth Properties. In fact, Barron's called his work a dire prophecy. Recently, he created a video, which you can watch online for free, detailing his biggest and most important prediction yet. And it's a real eye-opener. I can't stress this enough. You should at least watch this free video online today. He explains everything you need to know, including simple steps you can take to protect yourself. You can find the video at www.endofamerica3.com. That's endofamerica, the number 3.com. Watch the free video at www.endofamerica3.com. That's endofamerica3.com. Alex Jones here with vital information concerning our nation's fragile food supply. Folks, there are some truly dangerous trends forming, and I think it's important for my listeners to do 3 things right away. Number 1, study the past. History really does repeat itself. Number 2, learn to spot the dangerous food shortage trends. Number 3, take decisive action. A perfect storm is brewing for a global food crisis. That's why I'm telling everyone to read the new book, Rising Prices, Empty Shelves. Warning signs that trigger the deadliest famines in history. Don't get caught unprepared when the crisis hits. This book is only available at risingpricesemptyshelves.com. You'll also get a free copy of Supermarket Survival, How to Cut Your Grocery Bills in Half. Again, that website is risingpricesemptyshelves.com. That's risingpricesemptyshelves.com. Hundreds of nations have fallen to tyranny in the last century alone. This is our last chance to not relive history.
As we're finishing off this agenda, they'll be pulling the rug from underneath Americans at home.
They have tremendous influence on our president and Congress, and they really are calling the shots.
I think it's incumbent upon all of us as American citizens to pay attention.
Fall of the Republic identifies the enemies of our nation, the criminal offshore cartel, hell-bent on destroying sovereignty, and on its ashes constructing world government.
Tim Geithner, Bernanke, they're arsonists. They're asking for more matches. And the Congress is saying, who do we make the check out to?
Today seems like nobody does care. And right now in Washington, D.C., we have seen a fall of the Republic.
Get your copy of Fall of the Republic on DVD at Infowars.com or watch it online right now in super high quality at prisonplanet.tv.
Eastbound and down, loaded up and trucking. Are we gonna do what they say can't be done? We've got a long way to go and a short time to get there. I'm eastbound, just watch no bandit run. Keep your foot hard on the pedal.
Okay, my friends, we are back live on this Monday edition, 2011. It is the 17th day of October, and we are going to be covering the most important issues affecting our planet, our republic, our country today. Now, I want to get right now into my investigation down here on the South Texas border with Mexico. I am just 2 miles from the Mexico border right now. I've been talking to locals. I've been tracking their local news. And we have a local who has a lot of inside sources joining us by the name of David. 30 minutes into the next hour. So about an hour from now, he will be joining us via phone. David is not his name. My friends, first I want to give you the big picture so you understand what's happening here in the United States and what's happening in Mexico and where all this is going. The CIA was set up by the wealthy robber baron families of Yale in 1947 out of the OSS. This is all part of mainline history. More than 90% of the leadership of the CIA and its directors in its first 30 or 40 years were Skull and Bones members. Not only were they from Yale, they were Skull and Bones members, and those families were all intermarried. Skull and Bones in the Encyclopedia Britannica was admittedly set up by the Russell Trust in 1832 with British East India money in a contract for the United States opium monopoly. In the old days, they were able to control the ships and control the routes because the British had a monopoly in India and in areas of southern China, and they'd use the drug war because China was stupid enough to make opium illegal to corrupt the police and slowly take over the different regions of China. By the 1830s, they just economically controlled it, not politically yet. And so they made a deal to set up an internal private intelligence agency at Skull and Bones through the old secret society model. Secret societies of old are just the intelligence agencies of old. And they set up the CIA. The CIA, of course, during World War II, funded a lot of its operations with the Corsican Mafia. And the Italian and Sicilian mafia bringing drugs into Europe as well. So they've always worked with and controlled organized crime. They've used organized crime as their hitmen. When the Indochina fell, when the French lost control of Vietnam, known as Indochina at the time, in the 50s, U.S. personnel were sent in the late 50s as advisors. 4,000 plus died during the first years of that operation, and you were told on the news they died in plane crashes, car wrecks, or hitting their head, falling, in the shower, but they died, and that was later declassified over the opium. At that time, the majority of opium being manufactured and turned into heroin coming out of the Golden Triangle area, Laos, Cambodia, but regardless, through the coastline of Indochina, northern